Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're talking about a major battle brewing on our digital bookshelf. We've got a new challenger, Grokipedia, an AI-powered encyclopedia, and it's coming straight for the king of online info, Wikipedia.
So where did this all come from? Well, it really kicks off with a pretty public critique. You've got Elon Musk, who's been really outspoken about his issues with Wikipedia. He's basically said he's not happy with how it relies on what he calls woke sources, and that's the opening he needed to create something totally new.
And this really sets the stage for a classic rivalry, right? You've got the reigning champ, Wikipedia, a nonprofit built by people over decades of collaboration. And then, bam, late 2023, Grokipedia shows up, powered entirely by AI. And let me tell you, this is way more than just another website. It's kicking off a massive debate about what the future of knowledge is even going to look like.
Okay, so let's break this down, because it's not just a simple tech versus human story. Nope, this is a clash of two totally different ideas about how knowledge should be made and who gets to make it.
I mean, you really couldn't have two more different models. On one hand, you have Wikipedia, right? It's all about community, run by volunteers, it's nonprofit, and the goal is always to find some kind of consensus. Then you have Grokipedia. It's the polar opposite. AI-driven, a for-profit company, and its entire mission is to be an alternative to what its founder sees as bias in the other system.
Right. So these different philosophies, they build completely different machines. Let's pop the hood and see what's actually powering each of these platforms.
So, to really get Grokipedia, you first have to get its brain, which is something called a large language model, or LLM. Think of it like this. It's an AI that has basically read the entire internet, a ginormous library of text. And by doing that, it's learned all the patterns and connections between words. So now, when you ask it something, it can put all that learning together and write something brand new that sounds just like a person wrote it. And this is not your grandpa's Encyclopedia AI. It's built for the speed of the modern internet. We're talking pulling in real-time info from X, figuring out the mood of online conversations, and it can even whip up hyper-realistic images. Oh, and it's got a fun mode that actually gets internet culture and memes. So it's really built for speed and what's happening right now, not just dusty old facts. So you can imagine, launching something this disruptive, well, it's made some waves. There's been a ton of debate, a lot of criticism, but also some praise. Let's get into how the world is actually reacting to this new kid on the block. Okay, first up, let's just talk about sheer size. Now, Grokipedia is growing incredibly fast. We're talking almost 900,000 articles already. But you gotta put that in perspective. Wikipedia has around 7 million. So yeah, it's a real David and Goliath situation, but for the world of online information.
But, it's not just about who has more articles. The real debate, the question at the very heart of all this, is a big one. Can an AI, a machine, ever be truly neutral?
And here's a specific example that really got people talking. There was a report that looked at the Wikipedia page for Elon Musk, and it included a, let's say, contentious gesture he made in early 2025. But when people looked at the Grokipedia article, that event was completely missing. And that right there raises some huge questions about who or what is making the editorial calls.
And that's really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the criticisms. People are worried the AI models just end up reflecting the biases already baked into the massive amounts of data they're trained on. Then there's the whole for-profit thing. Could money influence what's considered a fact? And without any human editors in the loop, who's actually accountable? A perfect example of this is on a topic like climate change. Grokipedia apparently includes skeptic viewpoints, which is a massive contrast to Wikipedia's whole model of sticking to the scientific consensus.
So look, this is way bigger than just two websites fighting for clicks. This whole rivalry has huge implications for every single one of us, for how we find our information, and maybe even what we decide to believe.
What we're actually watching here is a fundamental shift in how knowledge itself is created and controlled. This isn't just a new gadget or a new app, it's a whole new way of doing things. And this really spells out the potential change. We could be moving away from a model that's built on a global community of human volunteers and shifting toward a system where a single, centralized algorithm basically becomes the authority on truth.
And a shift that big, well, it forces us to question everything. What does a credible source even look like anymore? Who owns intellectual property when an AI creates it? And the biggest one, what does it even mean for something to be true when it's generated by a machine?
And that really leaves us with the million-dollar question for our digital future.
When an AI is the one writing the facts, who do you trust?